What is going on, my fellow garbage men? It is I, the Biotrash Man here, and what I want to talk about today is my views on where the gaming industry stands as a whole. Kind of consider this my State of the Union address for the gaming industry. So let me get talking about the gameplay out of the way first. It's obviously some War Thunder gameplay. I'm flying the USA because I'm cool. I don't know if I've used this before. If I have, I apologize. I'm not meaning to use it again. I'm just trying to go through and use all the gameplay I've saved up. So this was in there. So here it is. Yay. Hope you guys enjoy it. It doesn't have really anything to do with what I'm talking about today, so it's not that important. But it does involve gaming, and that's what we're going to talk about. Because today I want to talk about the state of the gaming industry and the gaming community and everything gaming. What I think has, where the industry's headed. If I think it's good, if I think it's bad, things the community's doing I may or may not disagree with. Kind of things like that, where I see gaming heading in the next few years, in 2015 and so on. Kind of a good topic for the New Year's, I feel like. So let's just start off. First thing is we have new consoles, so the gaming industry's kind of been not an uproar, but stirred up about that. Lots of talk going around, lots of rumors, lots of all these things of people discussing this is happening, this isn't happening, I'm getting this is better, things like that. And, that's kind of expected. I feel like all this, the troubles coming out is just new cycle of consoles that always happens, and it will always happen until consoles are eradicated. But, so, that's kind of there. One thing I'm noticing, though, is there's a lot more, pardon my terminology, sensationalism going on in the gaming uh, industry, not the media, not the people, but mostly in the people trying to sell you games. There's a lot of sensationalism and going, hey, look at my game, buy this game, number one game of the year, number one game on the PS4. It hasn't been released yet, therefore it's automatically number one. Things like that. It's just sensationalism, trying to blow up their game, and it's not that good, which that's expected. You're an advertising, you need to make money. But to me, it feels like they're blowing it way out of proportion. The more they sensationalize, the worse it probably is. That's just how it is. The more ads you see about it, the worse it probably is. Look at Minecraft. Have you ever, to many people, Minecraft is one of the greatest games ever made. Have you ever seen a Minecraft commercial? Actually, think about that for a second. Have you ever seen an advertisement for Minecraft? It kind of just it fits it's word of mouth spreading. It's good. It doesn't need advertisement. So that kind of tells you, how good a game is. And then you get games that aren't finished in the release. Look at Assassin's Creed Unity. There were advertisements for that up the pie hole. They were everywhere and so many things. Buy this, buy that. Assassin's Creed Unity, 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 Unity. The game was broken. It was broken. There's no other way to put it. Ubisoft has a history of releasing buggy games. Unity was not a buggy game. It was a broken game. My game should be playable on day one. If you're not playable on day one, it's broken. When people go, well, what about Diablo 3? Broken. If I can't play the game, broken. It was, and Diablo 3 is a great game, but, on launch, I couldn't play it. Or I didn't own it, but people couldn't play it because, it was, the servers were bogged down. It's broken, and that's the terminology I'm going to be using. That should kind of put it in your head perspectively about how I'm using my words and sentences and phrases. But, the companies are getting a lot more lenient. Oh, you can patch it. Well, if I don't have internet, well, I'm kind of out of luck here. And I'm sure you're like, well, most people have internet. Well, it's what about the small portion that doesn't? I live in a town of about 1,200 people. Most of the people here don't have internet. Therefore, people who bought Assassin's Creed Unity for $60 just wasted $60. They can't get the patch. They bought a broken game. Not like, oh, just work through the bugs. There are parts that, it's so buggy you can't play it. So, that's where I feel like it's bad. And I feel like more and more companies are trying to do this where they just put out garbage after garbage and just we'll patch it. Ubisoft, I love Ubisoft. Okay, loved Assassin's Creed 2, Ghost Recon, love it. Rainbow Six, love it. They release broken games. Their games are always buggy to hell, and they're like, we'll just patch it. Ugh. No, I shouldn't need to patch it. I shouldn't have to. And I understand. I'm sure a lot of it is also the publishers. Not just publishers, but Xbox and Sony and Microsoft. I don't know why I call them Xbox. Like, come on, we need your game out. Release your game. Activision doesn't release your game. And it doesn't give them time to finish. I understand that at some point you have to release a game. But they do it so early now. It has to be released beforehand. KOTOR 2. I recently bought the game. Love the game. I mean, not recently bought it. I rebought it. Love the game. It's an amazing game. Not as good as KOTOR 1, unless you have a restored content mod, because they cut out huge sections of the plot to get it released before Christmas. So that's kind of... I hope that puts it in perspective that these companies do this a lot. Where they just say, cut it. We got to get it released by Christmas. We can't delay it a month. Which makes no sense to me. I'm like, they're going to get money for Christmas. They can definitely buy it if they want to. But it's kind of like what are you doing? You're ruining your console. You're doing an ET. That's exactly, the ET for Atari did was released it, for garbagely, before Christmas. I'm sorry. I kind of went on a rant here about broken games. But this comes into my second thing I want to talk about, which is my where I see PC going, because that was a lot about console, and I know it does affect the PC gamer, PC gamer some, and modifies how they play their game, but for the most part it's not as effective. PC is almost entirely online community. You got to admit that, so they get a bit more leniency there. And games come out later, so they're less broken probably if they have a console, if they're a console adaptation. But PC, one thing I like, here's the joyous part, free-to-play is becoming popular. Here's where War Thunder comes in. Because I got thinking about it, I'm like, how can they afford to do that? I'm like, they don't get paid for people playing on their servers. And then it hit me that it's kind of it's not so much free-to-play, but it's pay-as-you-please. I feel like is a better thing, not to pay-to-play, but PAP, pay as you please, because it's kind of like I don't pay on PlanetSide 2. Okay, I play that completely free. But someone who really, really, really enjoys the game is buying, skins, guns, cosmetics. So he's not only paying for himself to, play the game, but he's also paying for me to play the game. Okay, and we are kind of viewed as like an employee of Sony that we are supplying people for him to play against. It's kind of interesting to think about it that way, that the only reason we're there is for the people who are paying to play the game, which you can take that either way. I feel like it's a good thing because it breeds competition. I'm about out of time though, guys, so I'm gonna have to go cutting it short. Sorry, went on a rant. If you guys want to see a sequel video, let me know. This has been the Biotrashman signing out.